guys, so today I'm gonna be sharing a story that is very special of how my first baby came into this world. I know every birth is different, but this is my experience giving birth here in Iceland. I'm gonna be sharing all my experience, emotions, challenges. By sharing this story, I hope other moms can relate. My experience could help other people who are expecting a child here in Iceland, or just people who are generally curious about how is it like giving birth in Iceland. Few weeks before I went into labor, I started nesting. I did not know what I needed. I just packed everything. I had the big luggage and everything. In Iceland, early in your pregnancy, like middle of maybe the 20th, they will start discussing to you like what you want. You have options: home birth, water birth, normal birthing at the hospital. Are you gonna be having epidural or not? I was like asking my husband to like, okay, put this new curtain, put this new cabinet, let's clean this place. I was like that. So I did not really have any expectations at all. My only expectation was like just to live. Heard a lot of scary stories about giving birth. And what if I die? What if something happens to me? What if something happens to the baby? Everything. It was year 2021. I was 37 weeks and 5 days. First pregnancy, first birth here in Iceland. Was it scary? Was I nervous? Of course, I was nervous. At 4 a.m., I was in my sleep, and then I suddenly felt a gush of water just coming down. And then I was like, shit, this is it. I actually started shaking like this, like literally, like my husband was like, what happening? Why are you shaking? I was just super scared because, you know, I did not have my mom with me. When my water broke, right, the first thing that we did was to call the hospital. They asked questions like, what are you feeling? Why do you think you are in labor? Like, of course, I said that my water broke. They were actually pretty calm when they were answering. And then they were like, come to the hospital and then we're gonna check you. So when we got to the hospital, I started to have cramps. Like, I went there and they were like, oh, you're only 3 to 4 centimeters dilated. So they were like, okay, you cannot stay here for now. You have to go back home. And I was like, my first reaction to that was like, I was scared, you know, like, what if any time it's gonna go all the way to like higher, bigger dilation. We came back home, and that's when it got really worse. So I had my water broke like at 4 a.m., right? Around 12 p.m., I started like, shit, I cannot. It was even hard for me to walk. That's when I decided, okay, I think we need to go to the hospital again. So when I got to the hospital for the second time, they checked me. It was still 3 to 4 centimeters dilated. I was like, shit. And then the first picture that I saw and the hallways of the hospital was this chart of like labor stages. I was like, how it feels like per dilation. I was like, I feel like dying. And what more later when it's 8 or 9 or 10 dilated. I was only 3 to 4 dilated. They really wanted me to go home again. But like, I was like firm. I was like, I knew that I couldn't, because I was walking from the car to the entrance of the hospital. I just couldn't anymore. Like, I was like, I cannot. It was too painful already. So yeah, so if you are experiencing or expecting another child here in Iceland, or you've been in Iceland for quite some time, you know that there is a bit of like problem in healthcare. Got to be firm. Like, you have to fight for yourself. Because if you don't fight for yourself, I don't know, fought for myself. I knew that I couldn't walk anymore, and then they asked me to go back home. So I was like, no, I'll stay. I'm gonna be. And then they were like, okay. After like maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour, it started getting bad. Like, yeah. And then they connected me to like, I don't know, like to monitor the heartbeat of the baby. It was like a wire, or I mean like a cloth or garter that they put around my belly. In the video I will see, and it was connected to the monitor just to monitor the heartbeat of the baby. They asked me if I wanted water birth or normal one, because they have options at the hospital. There is room that's for water birthing, there is room for the normal birthing. Actually, they did never ask if I wanted epidural at all, so I did not even eat at all that day. They had option to have like the happy gas, so that's the option I took. I could have taken epidural, but like, I was scared of the big needles. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the natural way. They suggested for me to bounce up and down on the big birthing ball, so that like maybe the baby will go down faster. But I just laid down there. I actually super high that time. I was like Squid Games, Squid Games. A few weeks before my labor, so I was like addicted to it. So when I was having the happy gas, I was super high. Because I didn't know that you're supposed to like, and then take out. Sniff it and take out. I was just like this all the time. I was super high. Imagine how super high I was. I was like laughing. I was like, Squid Games, Squid Games. And then fast forward around 9 p.m. I was getting tired already, like the contractions. And then they said like, okay, you are 10 centimeters dilated now. You need to start pushing. So yeah, I was trying to push and push and push.
Yeah.
And push until I couldn't really push. The baby was stuck on my pelvis here. They said that the baby was stuck here. So they gave me like a hormone to make it faster. And then after that, I felt like the contractions are much stronger and much closer to each other. Like you haven't recovered from the first contraction. Another contraction coming. I was like, I was so tired. I mean, it was emergency already. They called like all the doctors and other midwives. There were like maybe 10 midwives and nurses around me that time. And they said, okay, we need to do something. They were gonna use like a suction, vacuum suction. See, of course, I had episiotomy also. If you don't know episiotomy, like they cut on part of your like vaginal canal just to make the opening wider. That's when my baby came out. 11:59, I think, almost midnight. I was like, so the moment they put out my baby, I was so relieved. Like they instantly put the baby on my chest. So in Iceland, just for you to know, it's not common to have the baby in a separated room. Because I don't know, I see a lot in movies like they put babies in like glass containers like this, like the same glass containers that we use in Iceland. In movies, they put them all in one place, right? And then there's issues of birth. Like the babies will be exchanged to another baby. Like no risk of that in Iceland because they instantly put the baby on you and they instantly put the glass bed beside you. So you will be with your baby all the time. There was no time that they put the baby in another room. But maybe if I had a premature baby and that the baby needed to go to the NICU, then of course, they will put the baby outside of the room. You will be sure that there is no baby switching. So yeah, I was so much in pain, but at the same time, I felt relief. I felt happiness that, oh my God, I felt surreal that, oh my God, I have a baby? Wasn't I just a baby myself? We tried to latch my baby on my boobs for milk, but I did not have any milk that time. And the first thing that I did actually was to count the fingers. I was worried, like, what if there's a missing finger, or like I counted the toes. And I was like checking, okay, five fingers, okay, five toes. So I was like, okay. And then the first thing that I noticed was like the black hair, like her head was full of hair. One more is that in Iceland, they don't allow you to, I don't know if it's all over the world, but like in Iceland, you need to have a car seat for your baby before going out. If you don't have a car seat, they will not allow you to get the baby. So my overall experience from my pregnancy to my labor to my birth here in Iceland was pretty good. Like, I got the support I needed. Nurses and midwives were very supportive also. Like, they were encouraging when I was in labor. They were like, you can do this. Your body was made to do this. Just push. Even if I don't know the names of those people, it's like I will always remember them because they took care of me on my most vulnerable time. Looking back, I realized that giving birth is not just about pain or challenges. It's about strength, love, and a beginning of a new chapter. And I will always treasure this memory forever. That's my birth story here in Iceland. I hope you enjoyed it, or if you don't care, it's okay if you don't care, and sharing you how is it like giving birth in Iceland. If it's your first time to see me, I share life here in Iceland. So I thought this would be appropriate to share here on my YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next vlog. Bye!